All right. Let me say this right now. I got two links in the description box. And like I said again, I got two links in the description box with timestamps on it. So let me play this first clip. Let me play this first clip under the U.S. Copyright Act of 1976, Section 107 here. So let me play this for y'all real quick because I'm glad somebody else and this been going on for far too long. So let's play this one point. What's hold on, who's on here? So let me go ahead and play this clip.
The it almost, well, it's not almost, it literally is just like conspiracism, right? Like this whole the red pill, right? Like waking up to see the truth that you can, that there is this like sexual hierarchy and you can break people down by numbers and all of that. um and I wonder, it's just it can't be an accident that it maps so neatly onto this disaffected, like, right wing chud sphere too, right? Like if you meet somebody who's red pilled, they are almost certainly also like very like conservative or traditionally conservative. Like you don't meet very many people who are like lefties in that space. There are those people, they exist. The caricature of the male feminist who's doing it to get laid, like that guy is real. Like I think we've all probably met a dude like that, but they're, in my experience, they're not as prolific as this other type of dude. And I don't know, like have you noticed a specific connection between like chuddy dudes in the manosphere, or like do you find them to be apolitical? Like what's the political vibe like in that environment?
I think a lot of that, where that conservatism comes from, where that traditionalism comes from, is the quote unquote embrace of traditional masculinity, is the embrace of being a man, being what a woman wants. And a woman wants a man who's going to pay the bills and not let her outside or whatever, like whatever weird kind of regressive ideal. I think it mostly comes from that. It comes from like the biological essentialism. So like definitely transphobia is a huge, like biological essentialism is a huge element of transphobia, and biological essentialism is what these dudes are citing when they say women want, a man that's like a, women are like high, more sexually attracted by percentage to a man that's like got a testosterone level that's like makes him like a violent brute or whatever. So like you got to be like, a lot of the conceptions of why you should get fit is because you can appeal to the caveman cavewoman sensibilities of what, like, all this weird shit. But I think
And that right there, right? That right there is similar to um that's similar to what Obsidian always complain about. Oh, I'm short. Oh, I'm heightism. Always talking about heightism and so forth. While at the same time, and he's not the only one who does this. Talking about how the African American woman is, she always does the heightism and so forth. When when most black women are under a certain height, not under a certain height, and therefore, um, most men she's with are taller than she is. It's one of these asinine arguments I hear from Obsidian and people like Bernard Rod. But anyway, let's keep it moving.
a lot of that filters through um, the traditional conception of a relationship. And um, I guess I'm trying to think of what else specifically. Like, there's a lot of racism going on in the black pill stuff, which is, saying that, like, I mean, in a way, it's an acknowledgement of like the fact that if you're black, or if you're Hispanic, you're going to get less matches on a dating app than if you're white. That's true. Like that's like an element of racism that's real. But they, when they start talking about like the different type of like incels for different races and talking about how, I mean, there's a huge subgroup of the black pill types that like are also the like racist black pill types that are like, the reason I, as a white dude, can't get a girl is because all the handsome black dudes are taking women from me. FD just had a insane comment thread on his shit about that. Like, it's weirdly interlinked, and I don't know. That's a really good question because I wonder like how if it would be.
I'm glad though. I'm glad Nolan, what's his name? Mention it because I always hear some of you Negroes who complain about the divestors. Oh, she's with Brad because Brad got, if Brad was, you always hear that tagline, um, her sins, no, that white skin removes multitudes of sins and imperfection. Now, granted, I use that tagline, right? That David Carroll um, usually use when you talk about the pink pill and the swirlers and the VWE. And granted, he's right. However, at the same time, you got some of these bums and who's in the Manosphere, SYSBM, in the passport, especially in the passport bros, who would say, well, black women they go to white men who look worse than us, and I find it funny, and yet, and what Samsen said right here, right? Uh, he's right because if you go over there to FD6 Signifier's comment thread about that video called Dissecting the Manosphere, go over there and see the comment thread he's referring to. There's a bunch of white dudes complaining about white women and Hispanic women running to black men. It's such a I find it odd. There's always this commonality with this thread. The commonality is, oh, you can't get laid, you can't find a woman what you want. So therefore, though, you come online and just say any old damn thing because you don't have the personality nor have the wisdom to communicate in on good terms and in good faith.
Helpful to just like map out all the connecting points between red pill and conservatism because it's totally there. And I think, like you said, I like the idea of like the virtue signal male feminist. I think there's a really good essay on this, the like the soy boy fuck boy or something it's called, where it's like the guy who it portrays leftist but is still doing fuck boy shit. Like there that's like totally a thing. It's like a very good like sort of counter argument to acknowledge when it comes to like being a feminist is like understanding that dudes are out there doing weirdo shit no matter what political bent they are. But the reason that's not self-sustaining is that in like a leftist space, that shit, like people figure it out pretty quickly. Like if it's a place that is really attempting to break down barriers and understand like what's going on.
Yeah, that whisper network turns into a shouting match very quickly. Like
right.
that doesn't stay quiet for long. Yeah.
It doesn't, it's not self-sustaining. The red pill, on the other hand, there's no women in that space. There's no women that are like, I mean, there's a handful of women in the comments being like, yeah, I love this shit. But like, for the most part, it's not a part of the conversation. And so, I'm going to fucking write that down because that is like an actually really good point about connecting the red pill to conservatism because it's super interlinked.
Well, so the reason that it occurs to me is because like I've not spent a lot of time like investigating like the Manosphere specifically, but I have spent a good amount of time investigating like the alt-right pipeline. And it's literally like that nebulous cloud of nodes and then the sales funnel. It's the same thing. And they use almost the same terminology. They also use the term red pill. But like when they say the red pill, they're not talking about like women only go for chads, et cetera, et cetera. They're talking about the globalists run things, and then like the next red pill is putting echoes around the word globalist, and then the next red pill is like, well, we actually mean the Jews. Like,
Right.
it's that funnel all the way down to essentially just being a Nazi from, base level conservatism. And you can almost one-to-one map the process and the playing field onto one another. And there's a lot of overlap between these two online communities and the terminology and the 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 propaganda style. And it I don't know, I haven't like teased out like this interconnectedness. Like look at a guy like Jordan Peterson is sort of like my sort of in my
And I'm glad he said that, right? I'm glad he said that. And there is a lot of overlapping. And I talked about this live stream last year, right? I talked about this the interview that like y'all watching. It was on camera, so I cannot find the live stream that was on camera when the host and Samsen talking on camera about it. But I only have it's the voice version of the live stream. But anyway, there is a lot of overlapping between the Manosphere and the ultra right wing that's been espousing a lot of nonsense. And the reason why I'm doing this live stream because in the comment section, no, not comment section, in the description box, you will know the second link, I should say, the second link within the description box. You will see what I'm referring to. I want y'all to go to the last 10, 15 minutes of that video, of that live stream by Bernard Riley, and you'll see why I'm saying what I'm saying now. See, the Manosphere is a gateway to fascism. And if you sit there and think about long enough, I remember last year when Kanye West went ahead and got with Donald Trump, and he said some crazy foolishness about people who are part of a certain religion. And guess what? That goes the same way what the alt-right was saying, backing Kanye, while at the same time you got idiots online on YouTube who are in the so-called black sector YouTube backing Kanye West, saying the same foolishness about people who wear, quote unquote, your words, not mine, small hats. Calling people derogatory names like small hats and all that foolishness. See, I judge you by the words that come out your goddamn mouth. I judge you by your words. I judge you by the tree, by the fruit that tree produces, that your tree produces. You are one and the same at this point.
my head, my go-to. Jordan Peterson is a central node in both of these networks, right? Pretty much every Manosphere, like self-help dude, has read 12 Rules, right? As has every Proud Boy.
That's
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
That's a really like the intersection. I think the embrace of traditional values, it is like, yeah, it's a reflection between those points, as in we want to embrace traditional values because this is how it's been. We go back to this. It's better for everybody, for women, for men. It's better. That's like the ideology. And also, we don't want to gender Elliot Page correctly because
Yeah.
that's also reflect like that step in humanity is a step towards degeneracy and a step away from the traditional values that are important. They totally go hand in hand. Jordan Peterson is like, yeah, he's a very interesting node. I'm curious to see how, now that he's gone full Daily Wire, like how sustained, because like honestly, the content I've seen, like the weird manifesto things have been very much like, oh, he's going to lose. I mean, he's probably going to bring people, but he's also going to lose a lot of people, I think, because it's way more kind of direct mask off. It doesn't have the same zeal and appeal as like, you know, when he's talking to a crowd. He's good at that. He's captivating in certain contexts, but like, yeah, like they are super interconnected, and I'm curious how it's going to play out over the next, because in a lot of ways the notion that red pill is waking up to a conservative worldview is just a rejection of like the capitalist structure of like capitalism co-opting identity politics and social justice movements. People cite Disney loves having, like, Disney's all about this woke crap, and it's silly and insane, but when Pride Month comes around and everyone changes their logos, that's just rainbow capitalism. It makes sense why people would feel like, you know, rejecting LGBTQ rights is some kind of red pill, because it's what society doesn't want you to say now. It's not politically correct. You know, SNL is talking about Trump is bad. They're all conspiring against you, but it's it's like as if any of that has any sort of material dictation on the real world and how the oppression still is just.
This is where the left wing is wrong on. This is where the left is wrong at. And I'm gonna tread lightly on this. I'm gonna tread lightly on this topic because I don't want nobody to make any mistakes here. You know, when you try to change the definition of a word, all right, and it's not just any word that you're trying to change. It's not any word you're trying to change. You're trying to change one of the most important words in history. But Big J, what are you talking about? Well, let me go ahead and say it for you. Let me say it for you. Now I don't have the caption, the overlay, the show what I'm referring to, right? I don't have the overlay to show you, but I'll go ahead and say it like this. Listen. When you try to change the word woman, when somebody asks, what is a woman? And you can't answer it. When I see a Supreme Court nominee, a nominee to the United States Supreme Court, could not, would not, and refuse to answer what is a woman, then therefore we live in a George Orwell society. This is something which y'all on the left can't seem to grasp. Now, I know I'm going to say, I know the live stream is about me putting my boot on the Manosphere next and the right wing next. But hold on. Let me make a detour and put my boot on the left wing at this point. You see, women, since the birth of Western society, women have used the institutions for the past 500 years. Yes, since the past 500, maybe 600 years, women have used the institutions to grant them freedom little by little. There was a woman, I think, when King Charles, I think it was King Charles the first or the second, the one that was beheaded. One of the people who made him be executed was a woman who was a wife of a certain lord. Now I'm not going to, she had some rights that most men at the time, that men, even men, uh, that all women in England couldn't even afford to have. So little by little, for the past 600 years, women have been slowly getting rights. And up until the early years of the 21st century, no matter it's United States, Canada, Great Britain, France, you seeing rights of women being eroded away because we're going to replace women and we're going to call women as birthing persons or birthing chambers or these stupid arguments. But hold on. But this is the reason why the left we're always going to lose. If the left will sit there and think for a minute that they're going to be in an Orwellian future, I don't know what to tell you. Listen, if y'all can't sit there, you know what? We might do a video on that on another day about how the left wing is going to use that movement over there. I'm not going to tell you what the movement is, and this has nothing to do with people who are not heterosexual. It's not by hating those who are not heterosexual. This is about changing the definition of the word in order to fit feelings, not on facts. And that's why I keep on saying, for me, I always said facts matter, not your opinion. All right, facts matter to me, not your opinion. Like Patrick Moynihan said, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but not his own facts. That's true. But anyway, let's go right back to the original topic, you know, and that is the right wing and how the Manosphere, SYSBM, and certain groups like that caters towards the alt-right, the far right, and yes, now we're going into fascism. Let's go ahead and go there.
Just ongoing and will be ongoing and has always been ongoing. It's not waking up, it's just regressing, you know?
Yeah. I think a lot of it might have to do, at least the overlap, is that um, fascism in particular, but also as you like filter up into like just bog standard conservatism, has just vicious misogyny baked into it at like a very base level. Like that's just there. Like even before you get to like the racism, like just it is assumed that women are inferior. And that is like a very big animating factor in fascism. So that's probably why it's if I were a fascist, I would be recruiting actively from the manosphere because like you're already kind of there when you hate women that much. Like
Yeah.
and that's probably why the black pill folks are they tend to fall into that, is because if you're already that much against women, like you hate women that much, or you've become so disenchanted with it, it's very easy to just pluck you up and go, "Hey, n- that's true, but also what about this group of people?" And then it's very easy to nudge you along.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't have
Have
anything
you
to add to that. That was good.
like do you encounter like a lot of like racism or like specifically like not even just like fashy shit, but like just generalized like racism in that community? Like is it something that you see a lot of, or is it more like
And I'm glad he went there. I'm glad he went there. I'm glad he went there. Hold on. Let me check the chat room real quick. Not everything. Well. Okay, JD Miles, if you think so, but if you go to Menard Riley's channel, if you go to Anger Man's channel, you go to that punk made bitch ass nigga by the name of AJ Seeing Red, you will see all this is about politics. What's going on, Black Beauty? What's going on with you? I see Miss Lee. You know all that, right? But the thing is, and why I'm doing this, I'll tell you why I'm doing this. Because ever since the shooting, no. Let me back that up. Right? Let me back that up. Because somebody, and do I have the overlay on this one? I wish I was prepared with this overlay. I wish I was prepared, but anyway, let me see if I can have this overlay because this overlay because I'm attack this one particular person. That's right, and and I said this on Psychopathia's channel a couple of hours ago, an hour ago or so. I was on Psychopathia's, and I said, you know, it's time to go at them and play offense. And the problem is they keep getting away with because there's no accountability, right? There's no accountability with these individuals. And the thing is, and let me see if I find it. Hold on. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Oh yeah, him. That's right. That's right. We're gonna talk about him. That's right. Mr. Why Lie, I Need Beer. Mr. Bud Ice Light right there. You see, the thing is, this person right here, went ahead and backed a woman who Me Too'd a fellow black man because he's mad at black women for giving birth to children who turn out to be thugs in Chicago. Not knowing that the reason why there's crime in Chicago, for one, because you nigga, you are the one who give birth, who never been married yourself, and you have children out of wedlock your goddamn self. But yeah, here you blaming single mothers for drill music and crime in Chicago. I said what I said. I stand 10 toes down what I said about an hour ago. You are the problem. The people who you hang around with are the problem. The people on your punk ass panel is the goddamn problem. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, JD Miles. You're right on that. What about Chicago? But Nick Fuentes sitting right there. What about Chicago? Pearl is sitting right there. What about Chicago? What about Chicago? Democrat led, and I'm gonna say this right now. Y'all better not talk to me about Democrat-led cities because I'm going to destroy that little talking point. I'm gonna destroy that little punk ass talking point about, well, it's Democrat-led cities. Okay, really? Okay. Well, Miami, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, Fort Worth, Texas, Fresno, California. All those 5 cities that I just mentioned have high crime rates, and not one of those cities I mentioned are Democrat-led cities. They're not Democrat-led. Those 5 cities I just mentioned are not. See. I'm gonna deconstruct. I'm gonna dissect and deconstruct these stupid ass talking points. So now this Negro, along with Bernard Riley, along with Obsidian, along with Anger Man, along with Jason, what's his name? Jason, what's his face? Jason Whitlock can get on YouTube and do the SEB, shame, blame, and explain that the fault of why there's crime is because of black single motherhood, rather than talking about the economics. Because if you go to any other city, in any other community that's facing the same issue, the issues always will be around about the lack of mental health and the lack of financial security and the lack of networking. That's what these Negroes in the chitlin circuit of YouTube can't sit there and grasp the concept, because they're a bunch of reading rainbows. And what I said on Psychopathist, no, it's not what I said on Psychopathist channel. What Homeboy said on Psychopathist channel, I fully agree with you. I'm not the one who said it, but I do agree with it. Some people really need to put that boot on that neck, because you got to force these Negroes to act right and do right. Don't even know what a policy is. You can't sit there and say Democrat-led cities when all these other cities that I mentioned had the same problem. Anyway, y'all are the gateway to fascism. And then when it comes time to talk about the influence of Nick Fuentes and how harmful Nick Fuentes are, we got shines like this idiot who goes on YouTube and, well, we're going to blame everything on black women. Really? Most of your violence does not come from black people. There's been most of your riots since, you can go from every riot since 1979. Most of your riots from 1979 to 2023 are not black. But people like this idiot will go on YouTube, look at what Lee Atwater and Bill Bennett, Dan Quayle, and Patrick Buchanan be telling them. They believe everything what the racist white conservative will tell them. Because the only damn thing they're gonna punch at is some female. And the reason why they won't blame women, because they can't get laid. That's really their fucking problem is. Oh, every time you look at these Manosphere nuts, they either divorced or they're not married. They're an incel, but they got some business calling somebody a cuck. No, nigga, what you need to do is sit your black ass down somewhere and shut the fuck up. That's what you need to do. Maybe what y'all should do, since y'all want to use white conservative talking points against the black community or against black people in general, what you need to do, and I'm gonna say right now, I'm not even pro-black. I'm not pro-black. I'm not pan-African. I'm none of those niggas. But I tell you what, I gotta join forces with them for one reason, because you niggas been getting away with a whole lot of shit. That's not even true. Y'all go by talking points. But anyway, back to my point. But because y'all follow white conservative talking points, how come y'all never follow Jordan Peterson's talking point? How come y'all never follow Jordan Peterson's talking points? Well, Big J, what are you referring to? Well, here's what I'm referring to. What I'm referring to is clean your room. How come y'all never take Jordan Peterson's advice of cleaning your room? Now I know what y'all are going to say. Well, I clean my room every day. That's not what Jordan Peterson talking about. It's called a metaphor. It's called a simile. Maybe y'all need to open up a book and read it some goddamn time. What is a simile, nigga? What is a metaphor? Clean your room. What means to do, you got to do some in perspective and what? And reform. Y'all out here talking about, oh, I'm a good guy. I did my manly job. JD Miles. Thank you. Spoiler alert. Clean up your act before you expect somebody else to clean up their damn act. Going to sit there talking about baby mamas destroying the black community. Nigga, you made a baby mama, nigga. You made a baby mama. There's a woman out there that had your kid. You never put a ring on it. Get the fuck out of here. And you got the fucking nerve to call somebody a damn cuck. No, nigga, that woman you had children might be with somebody else's man. She might got another man. You, who's really cuck, is you. Call somebody a cuck. I remember that one time, Cerulean Gray, shout out to Cerulean. Cerulean said this shit. I'm trying to remember who Cerulean, I think it was Rudim. If I'm not mistaken, but he said this shit. Cerulean said this. Who your quote unquote child is calling daddy? It ain't you. So who the fuck is your black ass calling somebody a cuck? AJC Red? Huh? Who you calling a cuck? You the one who's damn a cuck, bitch. That's why I hate your goddamn guts. And anybody that runs with that motherfucker, that's why you too goddamn scared to show up on this goddamn chat room. There's 11 of you niggas watching me right now. There's only 4 people in the chat room. Where are the other 6 people at? Huh? Where are the other 5, 6 other people at? Huh? Explain it, motherfucker. With your bitch ass. And like what the brother said on Psychopath Atheist, we need to start dragging you niggas straight to fucking hell. And guess what? I'll sign up for that shit. Oh yes, I'll sign up for that shit. To drag you motherfuckers straight to hell. The entire goddamn manosphere. And O'Shea, you one of them too. Phil the Advice Show, stop acting like you're not a part of them, because nigga, you are too. Oh, Bubba Gump Shrimp, bum lip having ass nigga. I said what's on my chest. Better clean up your act around me. You ready? If you're going to take a white man's talking point, well, you better follow what Jordan Peterson said. Clean your own room. That's what you need to do. You need to clean up your mindset. You need to clean up your heart, nigga. You need to start cleaning up. And since I'm talking to you, AJ, you need to clean up your goddamn liver because you're drinking too much of that goddamn Bud Ice Light. Mr. Liver Right, Liver Aid, having ass nigga. Liver Right, having ass. You need to check your liver. Go to the doctor and clean your liver up. Before you calling somebody a damn cuck and shit. You stupid, silly ass bastard. Yeah, nigga, I'm gonna fry your ass straight to fucking hell. This ain't no roast. This is a frying session, nigga. Who the fuck you think you talking to? Black women won't let me leave. Women won't submit. Sound like a damn bitch. And you got this other guy you got this other YouTuber who goes by the name of Please Act Right. Wait a minute. You a black man and you call yourself Please Act Right. Black women, can you please act right? Let me tell you something. Black men have fought in every war since the French and Indian War, the French Indian War, the Revolutionary War, War 1812, Texas independence, the war with Mexico, the Civil War, the Indian Wars, the Spanish-American War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Persian Gulf, the war in Afghanistan, Iraq, the war against ISIS. So wait a minute, that's that's 10, at least 10, 11 conflicts black men been part of, and your ass went from the mountaintop to the goddamn below saying, can y'all please act right? Please. Can y'all please act right? I want y'all to act right, women. Please act right. You sound like a damn sissy doing that shit. You niggas are just a fucking embarrassment. See, there are people who are MGTOW monks, right? I used to be a monk, right? I used to be a monk, my damn self. See, when I was in that monk shit, I didn't give a flying fuck. You know why I didn't give a flying fuck? Because I don't give women who, no, let me say it in a better way. I don't give people I don't expect other people to change. No. Wrong. Because that's not going to sound right either. See, a lot of y'all who claim to be part of the Manosphere, y'all are not about self-improving yourself. But people who are monks do try to improve themselves, though, by the way. But yet you niggas, y'all really don't try to prove yourselves. All that y'all do is, oh, she won't let me lead. She won't submit. Wait a minute, niggas. I thought the American male, I thought the Western male is supposed to be about self-reliant. So anybody who's supposed to be about conservatism, I thought y'all supposed to be about self-reliant. rugged individualism. If you really are conservative, because y'all all you and the Manosphere loves to talk about conservatism and how voting for Donald Trump will punish black women. Well, where is the rugged individualism from y'all? Where is the self-reliant message from Bernard Riley, from Osinian Ali? Where's that rugged individualism at? Huh? Explain it. But you got none. I said what I got to say. Fuck him. Fuck them niggas that was on his fucking panel. Because they can't do it one-on-one. They can't even sit there and bring up facts. Y'all can't bring up charts. Y'all can't bring up shit on what I say. See, here is what I hope. It's not what I hope. It's actually happening, right? They went after Fresh and Fit. After they done with Fresh and Fit, they're going after Pearl. They're going after Nick because Nick's relationship did Obsidian and Angerman and Anton Daniels are going to get it. You know why they're going to get it? Because of their association with Nick Fuentes. Because y'all prop up that'll idiot. And after that, I hope they come after all the rest of you Manosphere nuts, white or black. Because it's coming. Fresh and Fit is just the first of many. And y'all been told this 2 years ago that was going to happen. So anyway, the anti-Manosphere has just spoken. Big J out.